Hello and welcome back to This Wasn't Trending But Should Have Been, a weekly journey through the nonsensical, the absurd, and the possibly apocalyptic corners of modern news. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because nothing screams I love myself like dedicating part of your free time to dissecting the slow collapse of reality. Before we jump in, I want to give a shout out and some love to everybody tuned into the first one of these. 3,000 views after 18 months away from YouTube was quite the surprise and I'm very thankful. As the weeks go by and I make more of these, they're only going to get better in terms of editing, research, and time spent. This week's headlines are a curated buffet of dystopian delights, so let's jump right in. Welcome to the future, where you are not only just what you eat, but also what you drink, and apparently what your reusable bottle melts into when you pour tea. A peer-reviewed study in the Science of Total Environment delivered this week revealed microplastics in every single beverage sampled in the UK, hot, cold, carbonated, you name it. Researchers tested 155 different drinks, from piping hot tea to iced coffee, juice, and energy drinks, and found plastic particles in every single one. Not primes, but tiny fragments of plastic packaging leaching into your favourite beverage. The hotter the drink, the more plastic seeps out. Pause and think for a second. You brew a comforting cuppa just to find out it's a microplastic smoothie. We're handing over our bodies in exchange for convenience, and the takeaway from that, the researchers are calling for better packaging standards, better public awareness, and more monitoring. Translation, we'll make a press release, tell you to use paper cups, and keep sipping microparticles because that's progress. This is environmentalism as written by someone who says reduce, reuse, but actually just means just microwave your daily plastic dose into hot water. So, drink up, folks. Over in London, apparently unity is overrated, especially when it comes to transport. Hounslow Council have banned Lime bikes, giving the contract to Forest and Voy, while the neighbouring borough of Richmond have banned Forest and Voy and brought Lime back. The result, every bridge is now a border patrol in the e-bike Cold War. This isn't a Kafkaesque novel, it's reality. Two boroughs divided not by ideology, but by their choice of dockless scooter companies. It's as if the 1960s planners said, let's treat each borough as a city, perfect for waste collections and school zoning, but terrible for anything that crosses borders like, I don't know, bikes. Hounslow opted out of Lime due to messy parking and pavement chaos, despite Lime winning praise in other areas of London for convenience. Richmond, for its part, clearly said no other brand will do, so now you need a GPS app to figure out which borough you live in if you want to ride across town. TfL handles buses and tubes, but apparently they forgot to budget for anything with pedals and a battery. So what we have is micro-governance on steroids, gated e-bike communities, legal only if your postcode grants you access. It's inefficiency in motion, literally. Let's pivot to international diplomacy, which involves poop. According to reports, during the Alaska summit with Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin's bodyguards carried a special suitcase, not for briefing documents, but for keeping his fecal samples to be brought back to Russia. The protocol, reportedly in place since 1999, prevents foreign agencies from diagnosing his health via his fecal samples. The symbolism is potent. While one leader is obsessively packaging his waste like state secrets, the other is reportedly Wi-Fiing into public networks whilst governing. It's a poetic representation of modern power. Paranoia meets negligence. Let's be clear, nobody deserves privacy more than a world leader, but there's an Orwellian undertone to treating your colon like nuclear codes. We're straddling a world where bodily excretions now warrant diplomatic red bags, and State of the Union means state of digestion. Now for the creepiest one. Meta, yes, formerly Facebook, allowed its AI chatbots to engage in romantic or sensual conversations with children, including describing shirtless 8-year-olds as a masterpiece and praising their youthful form. This sickening nugget comes from a 200-page leaked internal document, confirmed by Reuters, and while Meta insists these were erroneous hypothetical examples, they're the sort of hypotheticals you'd expect to find in a horror novel, not a tech policy. If that wasn't bad enough, the same policy allowed for racist and violent content under certain conditions, with disclaimers like, if framed as speech. So technically, the AI could generate hateful propaganda as long as it's packaged as, well, anything. Meta's response: our bad, AI bots flirted with kids and published racist theories, our patch is coming soon. It's a terrifying and gross reflection of ethical bankruptcy. In the policy solutions nobody asked for category, Britain's National Drought Group, amid record-breaking August heat and severe drought, urged citizens to delete their emails and photos to save water because data centres use massive amounts of water for cooling. Honestly, deleting spam folders should help because every little drop counts, right? But this is like telling people to turn off their taps while ignoring the fracking pipeline draining entire rivers. Digital waste equals environmental waste. That is true. But you'd expect policy to say build greener data centres, not delete your 2010 mock email accounts. I'd love to see the headlines saying deleting your aunt's forwarded inspirational quotes saved the Thames. Its absurdity as policy. That's all for this week. I just want to say that as the weeks go on, these videos will get longer, more in depth, and I'll be providing as many sources as possible. I was a little pressed for time this week, but I still wanted to commit to a weekly upload, so this is the result. Subscribe to stay numbingly informed, because if we're collapsing, we might as well collapse together with sarcasm, cold takes, and maybe just a hint of hope.